Welcome to Unveiling the Myth, the show where folklore, mystery, and tradition meet. I am Dami, your host, and today we will be driving into the heart of Kogi State, where a river flows through time and legend, the Inner Chalo River. This isn't just any river. They say you can catch a fish from it, but you can never cook it. Not by fire, not by water, not by smoke, not even by the sun. How can a fish resist heat? Is it a trick of nature or is it something far beyond what science can explain? Well, dear viewer, sit back, relax, and let's unravel the legend layer by layer of the Inner Chalo River. Our story begins in the ancient town of Ida, the spiritual and political capital of the Igala kingdom. The Inner Chalo River winds its way past this town, whispering secrets to those who will listen and mysteries to those who dare. Now, to the ordinary eye, the Inner Chalo River looks just like any other river, calm on the surface, green on its banks, fish swimming freely beneath. But to the people of Ida, it holds a very sacred significance. They say the inner Chalo is no ordinary body of water. It is deeply spiritual, believed to be the dwelling place of powerful ancestral spirits and deities. And according to them, it is this spiritual power that gives birth to the myth of the uncookable fish. Now, imagine a hungry fisherman. Let's call him Idu. One hot afternoon, he casts his net and pulls out a beautiful fat fish. He takes it home, excited to roast it for dinner. He builds a fire. He seasons the fish. He places it on the fire. But after hours, the fish remains raw. Not even the skin creeps. He tries again, boils water, dips it in, and yet nothing. And still nothing. The flesh stays untouched as though it is immune to heat. Scared, Idu rushes to the village elder. The elder listens, nods solemnly, and says, "You have angered the river." Now, this story is not unique. Generations of Ida residents and even visitors have told the same tale. Fishermen bring home the river's catch only to find that the fish won't cook. Some claim that the fish simply disappears from the pot. Others say the fire goes out mysteriously every time they try. Now that begs the question, why? And here's where myth meets history. According to the Igala oral tradition, the Inner Chalo is a sacred river. The fish in it are not just creatures, they are guardians, embodiments of ancestral spirits. Some say during the days of war and conquest, the river served as a protector of the land. Warriors who drank from its waters claimed they could not be pierced by arrows. Others say it was a river gifted by the gods, not to be disrespected, not to be exploited. The fish, they say, are sacred messengers, and eating them is a taboo. This belief is so deeply rooted that even today, many locals will not dare attempt to cook or eat anything from the river. Someone once said, if you like, bring fire from the sky. That fish will not cook. It is not meant for the stomach, it is meant for remembrance. Now, how powerful does that sound? Not meant for the stomach, but for remembrance. What exactly are they remembering? A time when nature, spirit, and man walked more closely together. A time when rivers were not just water, but life, protection, identity. Of course, the scientist in you may ask, could this be a natural phenomenon? Could the fish have a chemical proposition that resists heat? Or is it simply the community's way of protecting an endangered species? Well, valid questions. And yet, many scientists have visited Ida and left with more questions than answers. The fish can be caught, yes, but under observation, attempts to cook them in controlled settings still fail. Water won't boil, flames flicker and die. The fish remains cold, still, silent, almost watching you. Now, there's a tale from the 1970s where a military officer, unaware of the river's legend, caught a fish and, forced his cook to prepare it. The cook tried everything. Eventually, the fish was tossed away. That same night, the officer reportedly had a terrible nightmare, heard voices, chantings, drum. He woke up sweating, and by morning, he was too weak to stand. Would you say that is a coincidence or a superstition? Or was it the wrath of a forgotten covenant? The Inachalo River is not just a geographical location. It is a bridge between the physical and the spiritual, between the seen and the unseen. Maybe the fish won't cook because they are not fish at all, but sacred memories given form. Maybe the myth is a shield, a way to protect something precious from being lost to time and forgetfulness. Now, in a world rushing toward modernity, stories like this invite us to pause, to listen, and to remember. And so, next time when you find yourself in Ida, stand by the banks of the inner channel, watch the water flow, watch the fish swim by, but resist the temptation to cook what cannot be tamed. Thank you for joining me today on Unveiling the Myth. I am Dami, your host, and until next time, keep your heart open, keep your spirit curious, and never stop seeking the stories hidden in the shadows. Goodbye and stay mythical. See you next week.